one piece? Was she in pieces?
No, she was.
This is 62-year-old Raymond Moody, casually describing the condition of 17-year-old Brittany Drexel's body after he assaulted and killed her. Brittany was just a teenager on vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, when everything took a dark turn the moment she encountered Moody. These were her final moments before the gruesome murder that left no trace, no evidence, and not even a single suspect. Then, without warning, Moody stepped out of the shadows with a bone-chilling confession that shattered the silence. What he shared was so dark and disturbing that no one was prepared to hear what really happened to Brittany Drexel.
Did something happen to stop that? To stop me? Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
Detectives are stunned by how Moody had managed to stay hidden for over a decade, and even more baffled by what finally drove him to come forward and confess to a crime buried in silence for 13 years. On April 22, 2009, 17-year-old Brittany Drexel traveled over 800 miles away from her home in Rochester to the popular South Carolina beach resort town of Myrtle Beach. Her mother didn't approve of the trip, so she quietly set out, keeping it a secret from her. But she was not alone. Two friends, Elena and Jennifer, joined her in this adventure. However, her adventurous journey was about to turn into a nightmare. 3 days after she reached Myrtle Beach on April 25, 2009, she went to Blue Water Resort to meet Peter Brock. Brittany left the Blue Water Resort around 8:45 p.m., but after 9:15 p.m., Brittany suddenly stopped texting her boyfriend, John Greco. She had disappeared. In June 2016, the FBI got a tip that a person named Timothy Deshaun Taylor had assaulted and shot Brittany to death. However, it turned out to be false information.
I may as well start with the obvious question. Did you kill Brittany Drexel?
No, sir. I did not kill Brittany Drexel.
Were you involved in the kidnapping of Brittany Drexel?
No, sir, I was not.
Were you with Brittany Drexel the night she disappeared in April of 2009?
No, sir.
In 2019, new forensic tools allowed investigators to reconstruct Brittany's movements. They traced her phone's ping pattern, and it aligned perfectly with Moody's SUV in the vehicle records. These vehicle records triggered detectives to resurrect this old, faded case. As a result, on May 4, 2022, Moody was arrested on obstruction charges. The next day, on May 5, 2022, Raymond Moody willingly came forward to give his confession. Detectives discovered human remains buried in the woods in Georgetown on May 11, 2022. After a few days, on May 15, 2022, DNA and dental records proved that it was Brittany's body. Moody was adamant that he would speak only to the police, refusing any involvement with the FBI. Respecting his demand, the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office arranged a private meeting for his confession that would finally unearth the truth buried for over a decade. The gravity of the case drew 5 detectives packed into the interrogation room, which is a rare sight, even for a high-profile murder. The weight of over a decade of unanswered questions hung heavy in the air, but none of them were prepared for the horror Raymond Moody was about to unleash that he sealed in silence for 13 years.
So you're good with that? Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, so Ray, what do you feel more comfortable with? Do you feel better just telling kind of the story and then just a few things that we have a few questions on?
Yeah, you know, one thing before I tell the story, one thing that I realized last night, because I was laying there, of course I was laying there thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, when I took you guys to where I buried Camille, which I believe in my heart, we finally did, after we were looking around, find exactly where I stood that up here. But over all these years, I guess memory got kind of, because of all that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first went there, I went to the wrong damn spot.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out.
Yep.
So in regards to that, there's a lot of stuff that I remember like yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
A
cool.
lot of stuff I remember just like yesterday. So, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't, we went to Myrtle Beach because we used to go there all the time. I'm sure you guys know that. We used to go there, go to time out. This game bar we used to kind of hang out at and have a good time and drinking, partying, stuff like that. We enjoyed that very much, did that almost every weekend for a while. Yeah. But anyway, and first to go down to the boulevard, hey, you're in Myrtle Beach, everybody does that. You just drive the strip. Just people watching and stuff, you know. So that's all we were doing. We were going down the strip and smoking pot. Who the hell isn't, you know? You know how it is down
No, I work the boulevard, yeah.
there. Yeah. And Brittany was walking on the sidewalk, and the traffic's really slow. You know, it gets right. It's so congested. And she looked over, and I looked at her, and I was smoking pot. She started laughing. And then, I don't remember the entire conversation. It's been so damn long, but she said, "That smells pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah, that's some good pot. Would you like some?" So, yeah. So we kind of chatted a little bit as I'm driving. Angel's sitting right there, but she didn't say a damn word, you know. I was thinking to myself, she probably don't care if I'm talking to her, you know. But just a little jealous sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's all harmless.
Yeah.
We're just having a good time. And anyway, I was surprised. She just hopped right in and said, "Hey, you want to party with us?" I said, "Yeah."
Moody began with his first statement, and it's nothing but a lie. From the beginning, he's trying to play a blame game by saying that it was Brittany's choice. He also claimed shamelessly that Brittany was the one who was attracted and hopped into the car readily. But anyone who knew Brittany could vouch that Brittany wasn't like that. Then why did she hop into Moody's car? The detective is about to uncover the truth behind this mystery.
So she got in. And I went back there and passed around. We're all talking. Going down the boulevard. And I don't remember the entire conversation, but I was like, "You want to hang out with us for a while tonight? And then go get some party and maybe get some coke and stuff." And she's like, "Oh, yeah." Then she started telling us about being from New York, and she was down with some friends and boyfriend and stuff like that. And, of course, along during this journey, because we started heading back towards Georgetown, she wasn't tripping a bit. I wasn't thinking of doing anything wrong. We were just having a good time, smoking some pot and stuff, you know. But her phone occasionally would ring. I never said a word to her about, "You can't answer your phone," or whatever. That was the decision she made, I guess, because I'm just guessing, because maybe she didn't want him to run her little party or something, you know. I don't know. So anyway, we drove all the way straight back into Georgetown, and the whole time we're smoking pot and laughing, joking, small talk, and all that kind of stuff. And we got back down to the river, which is where we used to go camping sometimes. I have a tent set up there sometimes for a couple of days. Nobody ever went down there. We didn't have to worry about anything like that. And we'd camp out and have a fire, smoke some pot, you know, just hang out and stuff like that. But anyway, we went down there and parked and walked up to the tent and sat around talking and stuff like that, and smoking pot. And then I said, "Well, we'd like to get some coke or something like that. We can get that." And it was back in the apartment, but I didn't have the damn apartment keys because her son had the truck, and on the truck keys was the keys to the apartment.
Okay.
So I just volunteered to go get the keys from her son. And then shortly after that, that's when I made a bad decision, thinking it was bad. I did feel ashamed about it, but anyway, Angel left. And while she was gone, I changed the whole subject, what was going on. Anyway, during all that, I left out strain with her. And I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do.
Moody finally opens Pandora's box, and what spills out is a tangled mess, a thread of truth buried beneath layers of carefully crafted lies. He casually claims that Brittany willingly got into his car, but what he hides is far more sinister. It was his longtime girlfriend, Angela Vaz, who lured Brittany into the trap. As the investigation deepens, detectives will uncover the disturbing extent of Angela's involvement in this case. But Moody plays it smart. He's about to describe how he assaulted Brittany, all while skillfully sidestepping any mention of his girlfriend's role in the crime.
I put her in the back of the truck. Now I went and got her, put her in the back of the truck, started heading back that direction, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go? I turned down Penmont Road. I wasn't thinking anything about Harmony. But that's where I went. I just turned down Harmony and saw that place where you could turn in with the gate. And rode back in there. Felt like I was off the road a good little ways. And I dug a hole. And I buried her. And I went back to the apartment. You know. And then she's still sleeping. She couldn't do the damn thing. You know. And then sometime, I don't know what time it was after that, woke her up or she woke up. And I decided maybe I just didn't want to be there. So let's go ride the motorcycle. So we went to ended up riding around in the Surfside area. I remember that. I got a damn ticket, right?
Yep, we did. Don't speed.
What's that?
Don't speed. Ray yelled at me for speeding on the way over here. Sorry.
He's a terrible driver.
Sorry, Sheriff.
Yeah, but a lot of it, it's just because it's been so long, a lot of it I remember like yesterday. Some of it I was just kind of coming back to me a little bit, you know, a little vague on some of it. But I mean, I did it. That's what I did.
So you said yesterday you put her stuff in the Salvation Army box.
Yeah.
Do you know which box that was, or what was that? Is the one up there by the gas station next to?
No. At the actual Salvation Army itself.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have two big white containers at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one here in Georgetown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her clothes, but what about her wallet?
All that stuff.
All the stuff in the Salvation?
Yeah, but I took all the contents of all our identification, all that stuff out.
What'd you do with
I
that?
burned it.
Burned it?
Yeah.
And the phone, you said yesterday, what'd you do with the phone?
I threw it in there.
Really?
Do you agree with the details about like her identification and everything like that?
No.
You don't remember what kind of cards there were or anything like that?
No.
Specific stuff in her purse, like, a lot of this stuff, what we're trying to do, Ray, is like, a lot of the stuff we say, we actually believe we're trying to take your information, and we know all this factual stuff, like phone pings and license plate readers and stuff like that, and we're just trying to sync it. And a lot of it does sync, but we do have some gaps. So we just want to make sure that we're just trying to collect all the information we can, because it makes you more credible. So say you said, I saw this in her purse, I'm like, then he has a purse. Like
She had a very nice purse and she had a very nice wallet.
Yeah.
For some damn reason, I don't know why, you know, sometimes people keep like common souvenirs or something like that. I did keep some kind of identification card she had. It wasn't a picture, I just had her name on it. I don't know why I hung on to it for a while. But I did hang on to it for a while. And then I started, I might have kept a couple more. But I remember, I didn't burn them all, I cut them up, a couple of them, little bitty pieces.
Moody's statement comes with multiple gaps, and the detectives are interested in filling those gaps. Only then can they paint the true story. For instance, Moody claims to have destroyed all the cards that he found in Brittany's purse, but the detectives weren't satisfied with what they'd heard. They already have a tip that Angela wasn't just a bystander, but till now, Moody shielded her well. Will he keep shielding her until the very end?
So you don't have anything, there's nothing left that you have that was just, what about her necklace? Do you remember her having a necklace?
No, I don't remember that.
Can you describe her phone at all?
I think it was
pretty
one of those
unique.
little flip phones.
Remember what color it was?
Black, I think.
Black phone? Okay.
About the purse, do you remember, you said it was a nice purse,
It
what,
was just a real nice purse, like peach or something, nice like that.
do you remember any, like you said, the color, the material, or anything like that you can recall? We get it,
It was like a tan color, I think.
Do you remember how her phone worked? Did you get to manipulate it at all? It's kind of unique. Did you open it at all?
I don't remember that much about it. I just remember throwing the phone in the river.
So again, trying to match things up to science just to prove that you're credible. How long would you say you were down in the vicinity of the landing? With a couple hours?
The whole thing was a good while. I don't remember exactly how long it was. I wasn't looking at my watch, and then we're high, so I wasn't tripping on, I wasn't pressed for time or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I really don't remember the time. I remember what I did.
Is there, and I know it's super uncomfortable, but for us, it's in fact fine. Can you describe the event that happened that when Angel leaves? So Angel's obviously not involved. What led to the cost you to actually find Brittany? Can you talk us through that? Were you did she do something to you? What caused things to go wrong?
Nothing caused it but my mind. Yeah. Just for some reason, reverted back to the kind of person I used to be, just for a period of time.
Yeah.
And I made her take her clothes off.
Yeah.
And she was pretty cooperative.
Yeah, she was.
But it was against her will.
It was. Yeah. Did she say anything to you specifically, or at that time?
She said she was she'd tell Angel on me.
So she was and then did you, and again, I'm just trying to get as much detail as did you start to have her, or did something happen to stop that?
To stop me from having sex?
Yeah.
No, I did.
Yeah. And then afterwards, what happened? Did she say, like, what caused you, other than revert?
I panicked.
You panicked?
Yeah, I panicked because I started just playing the whole thing through my mind, what was going to happen. I was going back to prison again for the rest of my life.
She could identify you potentially.
Yeah. And I didn't want Angel to know that. I loved her.
Did she try and fight you off at all? Did she punch, kick, scream, bite, anything like that?
She did, it wasn't real violent because I didn't really do much of a chance. I was around and
I mean, you were a big guy,
I don't know how big it was, but
strong guy.
at the time,
Oral,
no, just,
Did you, after you heard it, was there any period of time before you strangled her, or was it one after the other?
like just some minutes.
Do you remember what she was like at any point after you raped her before she died? What was she
Like our conversation.
Yeah, what was she doing?
She was just scared. She was scared, I was scared.
Moody seems to remember in great detail how he assaulted Brittany. He's not at all repentant. He's recapitulating the incident in such a casual way that it can boil anyone's blood. He states that it was not his original plan to kill her. But what if she gives her statement? He will end up in jail again. This is why he panicked and strangled Brittany to death. But his brutality didn't stop there. Moody is about to describe in chilling detail how he discarded Brittany's lifeless body, moving her as if she were nothing more than an object and burying her mercilessly.
Yeah, shot to the tent. And put it in the back of the car. And like I said, when she was, this took place when she was gone, I picked her up and carried her down through here, right over in here, and put her body right underneath the tree. And that's where she stayed until I came back real early the next morning, got her.
The next morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it on, you said this was the fence right here?
Yep.
So it was on the landing side of the fence?
Yeah.
And not on the digging?
No. But, it's a pretty big area.
Right.
So it wasn't like right on top of this, there was no reason for anybody to be coming through here. I wasn't really concerned about that because it's a real dark area, not lit up. I don't remember being lit up at all.
You said that it wrapped her in a blanket.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that blanket?
No, I'm sure I don't know for a fact, but I would imagine that blanket's long gone.
So she wasn't buried in a blanket?
No.
Okay. Were you ever a smoker?
No.
Okay.
Just pot one small,
Okay.
like cigarette smoke, and I never did.
Okay.
Ray, do you remember if anyone else ever came down to the landing just while you were during that whole process of pulled
I
down?
don't remember anything like that, because that would have, I'm sure that would have, especially after that event, it seems like I remember that, but I don't remember anything like that.
He moved Brittany's body and left her under a tree overnight. He was pretty confident that no one was going to find her body because it was dark and a deserted trail. He came back the next day with a shovel to bury her. His actions reveal the depths of his monstrosity then and now.
Do you remember what you did with the shovel?
I really don't.
Did you put it back in
I'm
the
not going to
shed?
return it or not.
I imagine he probably would have heard about it from him, right? Would he be like, where's my shovel?
He wouldn't. It would have been some period of time before he realized the shovel was gone,
Yeah.
But I really don't remember what to do with the shovel.
Back to the boulevard for a second, Ray, was this, you said you went to the boulevard often, was this common, like picking up a girl and maybe asking them to party? Is this stuff you did before, or is this the first time?
Off the boulevard is the first time that I ever did.
Did you do it other places, like where you and Angel would, there's nothing wrong with if you picked up a girl and there's consensual?
We had done that before, so we had a relatively open type relationship. We had a very trusting relationship. Yeah. There was a time or two where like we picked up somebody, not going there to pick them up, it just
So you saw
happened.
somebody, you drive by, yeah?
Well, no, like if say for instance we were in the bar, meet somebody.
Okay.
And like we say for instance we had a hotel or something over at the beach.
Yeah.
I might go back to that hotel with us.
Yeah.
And that'll happen a couple of times.
Yeah.
We didn't really pursue that. But I mean, yeah, it did happen a couple of times.
You said you're on Ocean Boulevard. You guys were driving before you saw Brittany. Do you remember, were you just driving one direction, both directions? Were you turning around at any point?
I don't remember any of that. All I remember is from more or less the point when we picked her up and we were going north. But in the past, I imagine there's times where sometimes you go to the strip or something. You might drive at a time or two or whatever, so that would be unusual. But I don't remember that. Yeah. But it wasn't like I was out looking for something. It just happened.
You said you were on Ocean Boulevard, so I was trying to figure out, is it one of those, you're going up, going down, going up, going down, or if you were going to somewhere?
We weren't going anywhere, we were just driving. Just like a lot of people go to the boulevard. Hey, it's been happening for years. When I was a teenage kid, I was on the boulevard too.
Mm-hmm.
At the pavilion. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You remember the pavilion, right?
Picking up a teen girl from the beach area was not new for Moody. This is what he called hunting. But what he carefully concealed here was that his girlfriend, Angela, was his partner in this hunting game and collecting ransoms. In 2011, when Moody first came under the radar, detectives suspected Angela might be involved or hold vital information. But what she revealed during interrogation only brought the investigation to a frustrating standstill.
What about that day? Do you remember, were you like staying at the beach that day already? Did you come up that morning? Do you remember anything about that?
No.
Remember he came up in separate cars?
Sometimes, no.
Both came up in the...
I don't remember it, no, because her son had the truck.
The truck.
Yeah.
That makes
Right.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Where was the
Yeah,
bike?
he had the truck.
Where would you keep your motorcycle?
You know what? A lot of times I take it like over, pull it over on the trailer and take it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't riding the bike that night. We didn't ride the bike till the next morning,
You rode the bike the next day because you got the ticket.
I got pulled over speed. I was probably doing like, I don't know, 35 in a 25 mile an hour zone or something like that.
Surfside.
Do you remember where did you pick the bike up to come back to Surfside? Do you remember where the bike was kind of in relation to the travel back and forth?
Yeah, the bike was, I had it on my trailer, and I had it parked at, in that place.
Just hours after the crime, Moody was pulled over for speeding, a crucial moment that went unnoticed. Later, the detective said in an interview that they caught an offender for speeding who had scratches all over his face, and a teenage girl was missing at the same time. How could they have failed to connect these crucial links back then? If only they had looked closer at Moody, then Brittany's case might have been solved more than a decade earlier.
Even I can't remember the name of that stuff they were at. It was at, there's a Help Point workout place or something over at Polly's Island. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Sometimes I put my bike on the trailer just so we'd have it over in the beach area. And I parked the trailer and my bike over in that parking lot. And just let it sit there.
Right.
Yeah.
Took me to get in off the highway a little bit, but it's basically before you get to Litchfield.
That way, the bike was available over at the beach area if I wanted it.
You said Angel went to go get the keys to the apartment. Do you know what car she took?
There's only one car she take at the time, and that was Ford. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because her son had my truck, Chris.
Did you have to call her at all, tell her to come back, or did she just kind of show up and like how did that whole thing work?
I don't remember for sure, but it seems like to me while she was gone, I did call one time just to see what her status was. Because what had happened, I want to know from the first time I had known that.
What about another call that morning? It would have been late, like almost like before sunup. There were some conversations calls between you guys, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something wrong. You wouldn't have got down to the landing until 10 o'clock at night. I know you're not good at times, but what would have been a call around 3 o'clock in the morning between you guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like a lengthy call? You don't remember what that would be about?
Not that damn late.
Moody seemed to remember every detail of what he did to Brittany, but whenever it comes to Angela, he stuttered and grew vague. Moody was desperately trying to shield Angela, insisting she had nothing to do with it. But the detectives weren't buying it. They'd already spoken with her, and her version of events painted a very different picture.
First met him. He was kind of mysterious when I first met him.
Describe that.
Didn't let you know a lot about him. Didn't really hang out with anybody. Kind of quiet, not social. Like when we went to places or bars and stuff, he always wanted to sit where his back was like to a wall. I didn't know everything till later on. I didn't know a lot. I just worked, that he'd been in California, he was in the military, you know, other than that, and then he was married at one time and had 3 daughters, and then went to prison for a little while. I didn't know how long or why he went for it. I didn't really ask.
This is how agitated Angela was during her first encounter with the detectives. She appeared visibly agitated and unsure about her relationship with Moody. She even expressed suspicion about his behavior, hinting that something about him never felt right. In 2022, after Moody's arrest reignited the investigation, she was interrogated again. And this time, she's about to spin the story.
Just go ahead and I'll give you the opportunity. You just tell us what you remember about that time.
All right, me and him went to the beach. We were in my vehicle, of course. We had smoked weed on the way up there while we were there, you know, stuff like that. Then afterwards, we rode down the boulevard. He hollers him out the window. What he exactly said, I don't remember. She hollered something back, but couldn't hear. There's a lot of traffic. So he pulled up a little bit. He pulled over to a little parking lot on the side of the road. She walked over to the car. He spoke to her out the window, said something like, hey, you want to let's smoke some weed, do a line or two, you know, and she said yes. She got into the vehicle, came back towards Georgetown, really just smoking along the way, you know, stuff like that. Went down to the pole yard, walked around a little bit smoking. A little bit later, called my son, or he called me, I can't remember who called who, but he had the keys to the apartment. So I said I'll be back in a little while.
Like after you got to the apartment, what you did?
I went to bed because I've been drinking. Okay, so yeah, I went to bed,
Right.
And I said I believe that he was up for a little bit, but I went to sleep. I did wake up later, and he was gone. But like I said before, that really is kind of normal. He was always an early person. He'd get up 4:30, 4 in the morning, and he'd be up. That was just his routine, which he still did.
In her second interview, Angela's tone had changed completely. This time, she spoke with striking confidence, and what stood out even more was how her story now aligned perfectly with the version Moody was about to deliver in his carefully planned confession.
But that period of time, obviously you were awake the whole time. Do you remember food, right? So do you remember, did you eat dinner? Did y'all eat together? Did y'all talk about food? Did she ever mention, like, if she was hungry, if y'all could stop and get something?
No.
No munchies or nothing.
No.
And you were awake the whole night. So you remember what y'all had? Did y'all eat breakfast next morning? You and Angel
I don't
together?
remember anything about that.
I don't remember anything at all.
I mean, I'm sure I did.
I'm just thinking like chemicals. You know, you see where I'm going with this? Like we're trying to look for something.
Yeah.
If we dug in the soil right there and we're testing soil, would we find a certain type of chemical that are in food or drugs? Would we find drugs in our system?
Pot.
Pot?
You know, probably.
Did y'all ever get the cook? Or no.
No, because by the time Angel got back with that sort of thing, that was a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there, and I would remember the questions, but was there ever a point in time where Brittany and Angel were together and you might have walked away for a little bit and left those two by themselves? Like maybe you walk someplace, they're by themselves, then you come back.
I don't remember anything like that.
You remember that?
You might have to go take a leak or something.
I don't remember anything like that.
Okay.
You're talking about at the landing, right?
I'm talking about at the lane, that's correct. Where they might be wondering where you're at.
No,
You didn't drive away, you didn't walk away, you know. There's no,
because remember, when we got there, shortly after that, Angel left.
right. I just wondered, maybe quickly you might have walked and done something and they were wondering where you went.
No,
What did she, okay.
no, because when Angel left, that's when all that took place.
Gotcha.
She came back, I was off.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I told her I had to go back to the apartment about why. It's just a nice excuse to get out of there for a minute to kind of wrap my mind around it, make sure that she was in a secure little spot.
Yeah.
Do you remember if, I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes, right? And do you remember if there's a point in that little time where when Angel says, oh, I gotta get the keys, grab the keys, takes the car, y'all were without a ride at that point. Do you remember that conversation that y'all had at the landing, like between her and Brittany, or she was confused about what was going on, or if you were questioning Angel how long it's going to take?
No.
So Brittany didn't comment when
She
Angel
was
left?
comfortable.
Okay.
No.
Did you have any inclination at that point when Angel left and what was going to happen next?
No.
At this point, the detective believes that Raymond and Angela are teamed up and they're hiding something sinister. However, they don't yet have solid evidence to hold Angela accountable and prove her involvement.
What can you describe at all? Just kind of what happened there? Was it? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but was it sudden? Was it?
Just something just like snapped in my fucking mind, you know? Just like all of a sudden. Just like before I went to prison the first time around. You know, I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't really like in real control of it. I didn't have the character to not act on my impulses, you see? Yeah, I really didn't.
You said you're not a drug user, but you use
Just like sometimes if somebody smokes a cigarette once in a blue moon, they're not necessarily a cigarette smoker, right?
Mm-hmm. But there was nothing. You're not a drinker either, so you weren't drinking that night, and then.
I think I couldn't swear to it. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
So because generally I didn't much drinking and driving, you know.
Yep.
But you know, there was times where like we go to the beach, go partying at like time out or something. Just drinking, you know.
Yeah.
There was times where I knew that we were drinking much, and like, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We like stay there somewhere, you know.
Yep.
That's nice.
Just to go back to what Hank said about the goodwill, do you remember when in the whole sequence of events you Salvation? That's right.
You trying to trip me up, man?
I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm just trying to put it straight in my mind.
No,
when in the sequence of events that took place, when did you go there?
I couldn't say exactly when that
No
happened,
problem.
but it was within the next few days or within a week or something like that. I had her stuff put aside in some bags, so it's kind of outside out of mind.
Where did you keep it?
I think I kept it in the back of the truck, just like it was trash or something, you know.
Were they like plastic grocery bags or were they
Like
trash bags?
like Walmart bags.
Yeah.
You know, I used Walmart bags to put trash and shit in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it okay to take a ride and see what or not? Be okay to take it?
Yeah.
You guys want to step out for a second and then come back here and okay.
And that's how Moody wraps up his interrogation. He simply took advantage of an innocent girl, murdered her brutally, buried her in a deserted area, and got rid of all the possible shreds of evidence. He knew exactly what he did, yet he chose to be silent and enjoyed his freedom. It was only after the detectives reopened the cold case again and began interrogating Angela that Moody decided to resurface and took accountability for his past actions. Later, on May 11th, 2022, the detectives followed the trail and found human remains buried 4 feet under the ground in a wooded area outside Georgetown. On May 15th, DNA and dental records were matched, and the human remains were identified as Brittany Drexel. On May 16th, 2022, Raymond Moody was arrested and charged with murder, kidnapping, and first-degree criminal misconduct. On October 19th, Moody pleaded guilty to kidnapping, assault, and murdering Brittany Drexel in a Georgetown court and admitted his actions as monstrous.
And I was a monster. And I took Brittany Drexel's life.
Moody was sentenced to life in prison. He received additional consecutive terms for kidnapping and criminal conduct. In March 2024, a federal grand jury indicted Angela Voss on 3 counts of making false statements to federal investigators regarding the events surrounding Brittany Drexel's case, and on February 13, 2025, she was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison.